Hey guys, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Angst. Today, we are going to be talking about Gossip Girl, episode 3, and I've brought more friends along. So let's play the music and we'll get to it. Hi guys! I'm so excited. So I am joined by a fun panelist of people to talk about this. I have Shawn from Lost in the Real. I have Becky from Film Freak. Becky, guys.
Hi.
So excited. Hi. So guys, thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm so excited because, you know, as we know, Gossip Girl, the reboots in general are very controversial. And we have all had our own thoughts on this reboot. So I love coming together with other fans of the show to like discuss. And speaking of people who have lots of thoughts on this show, just like we do, before we jump into episode 3, I wanted to kind of show some comments from people who've watched our video and who have lots of opinions just like we do. So I'm going to start here with Soraya Tiana. Says, I quite like the episode. Their modern references weren't cringeworthy for the most part, and the only complaint I have is the reveal of who Gossip Girl is. I just hope it's not the teachers forever messing with their lives and someone new takes over. Mm-hmm. So that seems to be a pretty common consensus. Like, Shawn and I have been saying, you know, like, we like it, we don't like it. Becky, where do you sit on like that immediate Gossip Girl reveal and it staying the teachers for so long?
Honestly, the teachers are so gross to me. I just like, I can't help but feel my skin crawl every time they're on the screen because I'm like, you're adults. Like, I know adults definitely, they don't act the most mature all the time, which we're clearly seeing here. But it's just like so creepy to me that they're like literally standing outside someone's window while they're changing. So creepy to me, but I mean, we'll see. It makes for a good villain. At least like I can see them as being like a villainous Gossip Girl, and I don't know, I'm not rooting for you because you're just being a creep to me.
I think that's a big difference. Like with the original one, we kind of rooted for Gossip Girl a little bit to take down these characters because they were so heinous.
Yeah.
Like, and I know, Shawn, you've like chimed in, you've had thoughts about that too. Like, it's maybe switching out towards the end of the season or something.
Yeah, I like the teachers for now, and I'm going to touch upon this a little bit later too with this episode, but I'm into it, but their whole plight of them like doing this because the teachers don't want to get bullied, I just don't see it having longevity. And it's also a little bit creepy and they're overstepping their boundaries. So I'd like for them to do it for a little bit and then cut it off and have someone like anonymous and have it become a mystery again. Like who's taking it over, like from the teachers or something like that. So I'd like to see that happen.
I love that. I would like that too. Let's jump to our next. Go. It'll go. There we go. I get watching Gossip Girl for the glamour, but in the midst of still being a pandemic, them downscaling makes me feel so much better. Focus more on the interpersonal conflicts. Now, this comes from a lot of our criticism about this show not being glamorous enough. The homes, like outside of really Monet's house, I don't really feel like anyone's house is amazing. And I will sit on this, and Obie lives in an empty warehouse. Like, what else was there? I need to see it. And I get like the fashion is a little more, they're trying to like play it off as Gen Z fashion, but I'm sorry, a Kardashian would never, a Vanderbilt would never. And you could do refurb fashion all you want and show me like vintage clothing, but at least put it together nicely.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Sarah. And but I do think this person's comment is really valid. I do want them to concentrate on these interpersonal relationships and whatnot. But I think they can also do that and have the glamour be a little bit more, you know, heighten up the glamour a bit.
Yeah. Becky, do you have thoughts?
I I mean, yeah, that's the thing that we love so much about the other one, right? It was the glamour and the glitz, and I'm literally never going to afford it. So I would love to watch other people living their best lives. So it would be nice, like, I guess like we did get like that Louis V drop. That was the only name brand that I really like saw in the first episode of the movie. I'm like, oh my god, Louis V, yes, I can never. So that would be cool if, like, I guess we get just, like, some more, like, glitz and glamour to it, just because I like living vicariously through other people.
Same.
Yeah.
And then to throw in our last comment is someone who completely disagrees with us and thinks this show is very rich and very glamorous is Via. Via, I appreciate you. No one is, because I sit and think about Chuck Bass in the limos, no one is riding around in limos because no one who is rich rides in limos anymore. It's not 2008 anymore. Also, the budget is much bigger than the originals. Cry face. And all the outfits on the reboot episode alone cost more than the original. Literally, Monet's bag alone was like $16K. Please don't speak on fashion choices when you can't spot high-end brands if not being inelegantly shown in our faces. I beg. So someone else kind of like jumped in
beautifully.
Thank you. Thank you. That's how I hear it in my brain when it's like things like that. There have been plenty of articles. There was even a tweet by the showrunner that has said this show is not as glamorous. This show is not as high end. This show, we are doing refurb clothes. We are doing all because, apparently millennials and Gen Zs have shut down big companies. So it's like all about reusing and restructuring. So it's like vintage Chanel, vintage this, not the big labels, which I get and I'm not against. But it, it's kind of the same thing when the fashion was like a $3,000 t-shirt with holes in it. That doesn't make it pretty or make it worth the money.
No.
Yeah.
Becky, I want to know your thoughts on. I really want to know your thoughts on this because you are a little bit younger than us.
So, absolutely.
What do you think that this is like the fashion of the time? I sound like such a grandpa right now, but I want to know.
But it's true. Like, is it this sporty thing? Is the like baggy things that look like they came out of Charlotte Russe that are supposed to be $10,000? I don't know.
I mean, I will say, because I don't know, like, depending where you're at, I guess. So for me, the people that I see around my area, they definitely do have like the whole baggy style of clothes that like it definitely is coming back into fashion, I feel. So when I see especially characters like Julian, I definitely see more newer inspired fashion in her, definitely. With everybody else, I don't really know. Like, I'm not like really a fashionista, but I think it's definitely more of like the low key, laid back, like rich, but like not trying to be too much in your face rich. And I think that is, I guess, what they're going for now. So I do kind of see like where the inspiration is drawn. But there still are like the people that do like to dress like a little more out there, a little more lavish. So it really could have gone either way, I think, when it came to fashion for the younger generation.
Yeah, I started, and Shawn could attest to this, I started looking up art. And I just see it like Neil doesn't know anything anymore about fashion. And all of it to me just kind of sounds like excuses. They're like, oh, well, we decided not to do this. Oh, because they're getting all the criticism. Like, I'm going to play this video from a girl on TikTok that I think nails my thoughts and feelings perfectly. She's amazing. Go follow her.
What is this, honey? It's entertaining to watch rich people do stupid, obnoxious rich people things. It's entertaining to watch rich people with no depth. It's entertaining to watch rich people out of touch with reality. I want to watch excess wealth ruin their lives. I want the bougie drama, the nepotism, the limos. Like, who wants a woke Serena Vanderwoodson?
Oh, like,
love it.
If this is what we want, then why are we calling it Gossip Girl? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
She speaks a lot of points.
I think that, like what you just said, if they're going to call it Gossip Girl, like, it needs to be in the same vein. It needs to feel like the original. It doesn't have to copy everything, but there are certain things that make Gossip Girl what it is. and the wealth, the excess, seeing these rich people fall, the nepotism, like these are all things. That's why we watch the show. So, they decided to call this show Gossip Girl. So let's keep some of the things that made it what it was.
Yeah, I agree. Well, all of that being said, unless anyone has anything else to chime in, should we dive into episode 3?
Let's get into it. I'm so excited. There's so many juicy things.
We talked all on that, and I feel like it took me 3 episodes to really stop the comparison, just sit and enjoy. And do I still have lots of issues? Yes. But is Max coming to life and saving this whole show? Absolutely. So we're not going to start there. We're going to start with the boring people. So I don't. Which
all
sounds
the
crazy
to me of the show.
Yes.
So I want to start with the 2 boringest characters is that a word? On the series, which are Julian and Zoya. Because I feel like their storyline this episode is really terrible and still slightly confusing, because I don't understand why Julian is still angry at her sister. And then you have Zoya, who has this mean hashtag against her, and she's overly obsessed about it. And she starts tag teaming with Luna, who is now playing double sides. It's just very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do we?
Exactly. What else do you say about this girl? We're
what do we say? I mean, I totally see where you're coming from. I mean, the whole storyline. For me, can I just say though too? I think someone who's more boring for me so far has been Obie. I'm literally y'all are better than this guy. He has as much charisma as toothpaste. I don't know. Why? Why are we fighting over him?
I will no. Why is he's I feel like he had such potential to become a really interesting character, because he is the king of Prince of New York, or whatever that nickname is. And I need them to explain why. He's got that black Amex. He's apparently the richest kid at school, living in a warehouse. And he the whole conversation he and Julian have at the end, which I think is very mature, is him owning up to who he actually is. But he is wanting to be anti 1%. So I think this story could have actually been really interesting from his perspective, being the outsider trying to go against the uber rich that he grew up with. And that's just not the way, that's just not where they've gone with this.
Because once again, they're trying to push, Zoya and Julian being the leads of this show. And like you said, they are boring. I don't like where they're taking these characters. Julian is once again being wishy-washy. Is she okay with Zoya being with him? She hates it. She loves it. She hates it. She loves it. I'm over it. Julian, make up your mind. The writers need to make up their mind what they're going to do with this character. But Sarah, I do think you did have a good point there. That talk at the end, the fact that Zoya let Obie have that conversation with Julian, I thought that was really mature. It happened authentically. And that's one of the few times that I think something actually happened authentically in this show so far.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I thought this, Julian goes on this interesting journey of self-discovery with Max, which I'm just yes, let's put Max in every scene. So now she's they're showing us the rich kid drug thing, right? So she's at a club in her underwear doing cocaine, and on this personal journey, and then finds out that her father is dating, and that's the drama they're going to give her. Her father's secret girlfriend.
Not enough drama.
I know. I totally agree. I was that's obviously not the most wonderful news, but at the same time, it's just come on, I feel like Julian has a lot more to give than what she's getting, is what I think. I think that the actress has so much to her, and I feel that, but what they're giving her is just it's so frustrating. It doesn't feel enough, and that they're undermining her character a lot. Yeah.
Becky, do you feel like they don't know what to do with her? They want her to be the villain one moment, and then they want her to be a pariah the next moment?
Absolutely. I totally feel that, because I feel because she's the main character, they don't want to make her too mean to dissuade the audience. I feel like they're too worried about dissuading the audience and probably making them feel like, oh wait, she's being mean. Like I can't side with her because she's like a mean girl. Whereas like, but if you actually took her in that route, and then I noticed that you said it, I think in the previous episode, Shawn, that like maybe make her mean first and then give her that arc that she realizes like, oh, okay, you know, I'll take a step back, I'll be nicer. And then that would be something really interesting to see. But for right now, it's very like one step forward, another step back. One step forward, another step back. Like they're not too sure how far they can make her meanness. Yeah.
I say just go for it.
Right? I mean, also
so
if we're gonna, and if we don't want to make it her, like, and right now that like her little minions are like pulling the strings behind the scenes, which I think is very strange. If she's supposed to be Queen Bee, you know, having Monet and Luna like working both sides and then deciding in the end to like take down Zoya. I'm just like, why are we here? Like none of this anti-Zoya storyline has zero payoff, and like no, I don't understand it. It's still, we're 3 episodes deep, but I'm like, why do we hate her? She's done nothing. Are the girlfriends more upset than she is that she's dating her like sister's boyfriend? I
guess so. I guess they understand the rules of feminism that it should be off limits. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is Monet and Luna see Zoya as possibly taking away Julian's spotlight, and they're like, does Julian pay them? I don't know, because I know it's a stylist and the PR person. Does she pay them? I don't know, but you know,
it's exposure, Shawn. We only work in exposure.
There you go. Exactly. Exposure. So their exposure is getting lost because Zoya's getting it. And I do think they do a really good job, the showrunners do in this episode, of like her getting that hashtag and then her people making fun of her online for eating, you know, in a sloppy way, and the New York, the sewer rat thing. I thought that was kind of funny. So it shows you that people are paying more attention to Zoya rather than Julian right now.
Right, which I guess is the issue.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the threat.
Yeah. Like, but why is it a threat? Like, how many followers does Julian have? Why is Julian important? Why is Zoya a threat to her? Because, like, I don't have answers to that yet, so I don't care.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. I get, like, you don't really, I guess, like, feel like the weight of her threat is what it is, because even with her getting like all this exposure, it's still, I guess they say like any publicity is good publicity, but it is still all pretty negative and kind of people like making fun of Zoya instead of like being like, oh my god, like Zoya's an icon, right? So it doesn't really feel like people are being like, oh well, Zoya, like she's the new Queen Bee or anything like that.
I mean, that's all I got on them. If you guys have anything else, otherwise I'm going to move on to the teachers.
I do like that scene with I do like that scene with Zoya and the playwright, how she calls out Max, one of Max's dads. And I was like,
that was cool.
Thing. And the playwright came up and was like, "You're not nobody. Like, come with me."
Like, come with me. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
yeah.
She definitely had a moment
stopped
there.
Listening to Luna's bad advice, like. Let's not. The Gossip Girl teacher drama is actually pretty juicy this episode. You know, the head mistress is like, we've brought in this company. They're like the Black Cube. They're the ones who took down Weinstein, you know, like our Epstein, whichever, Steen, bad guy Steens. And I like kind of like how during the conference, the teachers are talking about actually the students are better because of Gossip Girl. So they're all kind of torn. But then the teachers get nasty, y'all. Like they get real.
I wrote the teachers are shady assholes in my notes.
On period.
Yes. AF, shady. They take one of their own and use her ass as a scapegoat, and they have no remorse.
That was so rude. Yeah.
I was like,
so
wow.
Rude. They're worse than the kids. They're worse than the kids.
They really are. I'm just like, yeah, we are. And also, I forgot to mention last episode, Gossip Girl is now verified. So at the end of episode 2, Gossip Girl is verified. So they're now like legit. So anything they put out, that was kind of like the compromise that was made with Julian and Gossip Girl, which makes them legit. And anything they put out is truth. So that makes them a lot more dangerous, which I actually think is cool.
I do too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And they have that power. The power is growing.
What do you guys think of that with the teachers sitting down with the one lady who ends up getting fired because of the other teachers? What do you think about that table, that dinner conversation they had?
Thank you for bringing that up. Can I go? I
have
so many thoughts with that.
Let me give you your platform.
Oh, thank you. That was with her husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I really liked that conversation because I actually felt like finally we have an adult with reason and that's able to sit down and give them a reality check. Because I really like, her husband, I don't know if he had a name, I forget his name, but yeah, that he was kind of telling them like, well, you know, it's not really right, like what you guys are doing. He kind of saw like where they were coming from, but was like, you know, it's not a good thing what you're doing. So I really appreciated that conversation and that sit down because, you know, and the teachers got, you know, their own defense mechanism and they were like, well, no, we have to do this. We have to do this to defend ourselves. And it's just kind of insane to me that, you know, they feel so justified in doing this and that they feel like, oh, but like, you know, we're powerless, you know, we're the people that are at the bottom. So, you know, we have to do these sort of things. And it's like, I don't know. It's like you have food on the table. Like you're not at the bottom. You know, like I think you're getting a little greedy there, but to each their own, I guess. But yeah, like that was definitely a very interesting conversation, I thought.
Yeah. He was the voice of reason in the chaos, you know, and I think that also is what like upsets them a little bit. They're like, well, now we feel threatened because one of our own has someone at home chirping in their ears saying, this isn't right. We shouldn't do this. And they no longer felt safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely thought this episode added a lot more intrigue with the teachers.
Yeah.
At least I'm not necessarily still on board with the whole thing, but like I see them progressing the teacher storyline in a way that I find interesting and I want to know more.
Yeah, same. They're kind of like, yes, I can't even add more to that. Yes, exactly what you said. And the scapegoat thing was crazy. But now Gossip Girl is citywide. Now Gossip Girl is getting intel from other teachers at other schools, connecting web of terror, you know. And I'm just like, ooh, okay. Okay. That's my thing. I'm like, okay. They're a little.
Is it supposed to be like? So is all the teachers from like everywhere that are doing this now? Like they're giving her the tips
from like
from
the handful of schools that they mentioned. Like so now it's like a network.
Oh my god!
So all like the handful of elite schools in Manhattan.
See, and then now it's just like, how are we? Yeah, because with it maybe getting hacked or something, like, I don't know, because I don't know, it's a cool commentary in a way to say, like, yeah, like adults and teachers, they can be pretty scummy everywhere, I guess.
Everyone's a villain in their own way.
Everyone's the villain, yeah. Ooh, yeah. That's crazy.
So now should we get into the juicy thick of it, of the Audrey, Max, Aki goodness.
Yes, please.
Because I love that
I've been
this episode was like, this whole thing is the reason I watched this show. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, 100%.
So like Audrey, love it. We have Audrey confessing to Julian that she slept with Max that we still didn't get to see. And I know people are like weird about me saying that. And I'm like, look, I know. I'm like, episode 2, it's a reveal, right? So, okay, I forgive it not being shown there. But then when she's talking about it and saying how amazing it was, you can give me just like flashes and flashbacks because this is the episode where we learn why it's on HBOMax, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like because of Audrey and Aki's latest really awkward sex scene. So you could have absolutely given me some flashbacks to like this magical thing that it was like life-changing for her. But they're just not doing that. And I understand they're teenagers. I understand they're in high school, but have you watched Riverdale? Have you watched The Skins? Have you watched, you know what I mean? Like, have you watched Love Victor?
Yeah.
Like,
Love Victor even had a sex scene.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, teenagers are having sex. It's a thing. It's happening. I don't know what to tell you.
I actually have a theory. Oh, sorry. I don't want to keep
No, go ahead.
I have a theory why potentially they might not have shown it. I feel like it might potentially be because they want to build more on Aki and Max's relationship. And if they showed more of Audrey and Max, then they'll get the shippers like more on their side, but they might potentially be trying to sway the audience more towards Max and Aki, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, but yeah, because we actually get their first kiss, so and they show that on screen. So I'm kind of wondering if like maybe that was that choice for that reason, but I don't know.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think of that.
It could be a creative decision to not show it because they like swaying the audience one way. Like we want the audience to want Max and Aki more than Max and Audrey. I see that.
Yeah, but maybe like potentially, because I thought like from the first episode, like maybe we would get more Max and Audrey because we were showing them having like a couple scenes together, and then the fact that they just totally blew over their sex. It's like, wait, what? Like, I thought we were going to see that. I thought we were getting to see that. Yeah.
I know.
So it's interesting.
I mean, I feel like the actor who plays Aki and the actress who plays Audrey, like, must be the only ones who have sex scenes in their contract. Like, everyone else was like, absolutely not. I'm opting out. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, just let a girl know, I guess.
Well, and then Aki and Audrey have no chemistry together whatsoever, the two actors. So then them in bed together is just like the most awkward, like, oh my God, I want it to be over.
And I mean, and I guess that kind of works, right? With their characters and the way it's written in their relationship, that they've lost each other, but haven't, like, she's thinking of someone else, he's thinking of someone else. And like the sex scene for them in this, I was like, oh, we're okay. So like it's awkward, but now I know why the show's on HBO.
Yeah,
they showed a lot in that sex scene right there. I was like, oh. Yeah. Ooh.
Like, I don't need bits. I don't need to see her underage like chest.
No.
Like, you know, even though all the actors are overtaken, but like there's a way to
sex scene and show it, you know, like and that's what I need. But
yeah, and which I feel like we kind of got with this. And then you have like Aki, who then goes to Obie and like confesses that he kissed Max, and he's all three being couple in like a poly relationship and love each other, and it'll be fine. I don't know, just like talk it out, right? Couldn't you see that? Like,
I could see that happening.
Oh yeah. I would love it. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Just like Twilight, polyamory would have saved everything.
It would have.
You know.
How do you feel about it? You have a lot of thoughts.
I do. I have so many thoughts. Becky, what are your thoughts on Audrey?
Oh, yeah. You don't like her. That's right.
No.
Okay, honestly, from the last episode, I did sympathize with her. I did. And, I mean, I think, like, obviously, you know, there is no excuse of being an asshole. Like, assholes, it's like, you can come from whatever upbringing and still be a nice person. But at the same time, it does feel like she has, like, no guidance whatsoever in her household. So I can see where she's coming from, and, like, I don't know, she's not the best character, but I find her very intriguing. At the least, like, I still want to know more about her and see like what layers she has, because I think person to potentially being more sweet towards the end if they decide to take her that way. So we'll see like what she does and where her character develops. But for me right now, like I like her. Like she's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Aki and
like
Audrey
your thoughts,
together.
Shawn. I feel like you
Together.
Yeah, I hate them together.
Yeah.
I wrote they need to break up, and Max and Aki need to get together. Max needs to leave that teacher alone.
Leave him alone.
Get with Aki. You two are cute together. Audrey, sorry, move on. You can find another guy. Those are my thoughts.
Yes, I agree with all of those things. And, I think I want to know more about Aki, too. We're 3 episodes deep.
Yeah.
We don't really know. Wait, who are his
Agreed.
parents? Why is he here? Who is he? He's just this, really soft-spoken, sweet boy who I just want to give a hug to because he's on this, little personal journey.
I know.
But that's all I know. He's just adorable.
I agree.
And he's so he's malleable, right? Max is able to manipulate him so easily. And because Max's story, this whole thing, I was like, okay, sir. One, I love that he's a little bitch and he's just touching both their legs at the play. And I'm like, you're an ass. And I love you. He's my favorite thing. And he convinces Aki because Max sees that his dad is on Scruff, right? Is that I was like, it's not Grinder.
One of those. There's 20.
There's
Grinder. It's the Grinder, yeah.
It's Scrub, Adam for Adam, whatever. He was on one of the apps, and could you tell I have a gay brother? I know the things. And he sees his dad because I love that we're getting to know his parents, and it kind of explains a lot of who Max is.
Mm-hmm.
And Max has a dad who's gone on his own journey and becoming who he is, and his fashion and his more feminine side, and then his dad is the stick in the mud, boring dude. And he's their relationship is having an issue. And I really kind of enjoy, I don't seeing their issues, but I like that they're exploring that because that's something that I have friends that are going through that, that are younger and or older. Because as you grow, you don't stop learning who you are no matter how old you are. And so I really like seeing that storyline. But he uses Aki to create a fake profile of the teacher that Max needs to leave alone.
Leave him alone.
To
I'm so over it too.
To talk to his dad, and that whole thing explodes at the play, and I'm like,
I know.
The drama of the play.
And
so much drama.
I think that I like this whole thing with the dads and Max's backstory. For me, this episode seemed like the most Gossip Girly to me.
Absolutely.
They're with Julian and Max going out to the club, and it's the nightlife of it all, and then them going to the opening night of this theater performance. It seemed like New York was actually becoming a character in this episode a little bit. And I loved seeing Max's backstory with his dads. And I think this is a real, this is actually something real and maybe not touched upon, a couple, and the man is kind of, dresses more as a woman. He's different than when they first met. And I liked this whole backstory. And I also think the two dads are actually good actors, unlike most of the adults in the show. So.
Oh, same. Oh, same. Oh my God, such a good point. I especially felt for the more feminine dad. And when he found out about the whole profile and everything, that scene was so touching. Yeah. Oh, I really felt for it. And I agree with everything both of you are saying. That was definitely the best storyline that they've done so far, in my opinion, for Gossip Girl for 2021. It felt real. It just felt really real. And that this is this is actually something that happens and needs to be explored, I feel. So that was beautiful. And I really hope that it gets fixed somehow, because
I know relationships have drama.
They deserve
go through things. They deserve happiness. And I love the scene between Max, and I wish I knew his dad's name, the more feminine of the dads. I will get this for next week because I feel very rude. I love the conversation they have when he is at the house, and Max is like, what are you wearing? And because he's wearing a tuxedo. And he's like, haven't you always taught me to be my authentic self. So why are you not being your authentic self? And it was such a beautiful conversation between the two of them. And the scenes with Max this episode are the best we've had so far.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thomas Doherty, you're my favorite.
Oh my God. His acting
killing
chops.
it.
Completely.
Look, started at Descendants and now we're here. You know, like
like good job.
So good job, you.
The only thing I didn't like was who he went crying to afterwards.
Oh. And I'm like, are we supposed to? Like, how am I supposed to feel about that?
Go to Audrey. Go to anybody else except for him. Yeah, literally. I'm like, this doesn't need to happen. We don't need to have another one of these stories.
No, exactly. We don't. And I'm happy that the teacher had Max sleep on the couch. But at the same time, I wrote, like, why are you even having him over? Call the dad.
Yes.
Call his friend, anybody. Why are you even letting him into your house? You're allowing, you're opening up a can of worms. And this teacher, I call him stranger danger now. Leave Max alone.
And knowing full well, too, that Max is interested. Because he 100% knows he's interested. So it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing with him at your house?
Yeah.
It's not right.
It's super predatory. You are the adult. It doesn't matter. Like, yes, you can make choices. And you even said, I don't sleep with my students. Because, like, didn't we have that moment in the episode before where he's like, oh, what happens after graduation? And then he whispers something uber dirty in his ear and we don't know what he says. I'm like, how inappropriate.
Yeah,
I hate him. So inappropriate.
I hate him.
Get him fired.
I don't like I hope so. Gossip Girl, take him down.
I feel like, I feel like it will.
They get the one lady fired. I'm like, why don't you get that teacher fired? You know, like that I would be okay with. I feel bad for that one teacher lady.
And they hinted at it. They hinted at taking him down too. And then they didn't, and I'm sad.
No, and I feel though like that might come into play potentially later, depending like where this goes. Like I feel like the Gossip Girl is everywhere, and if I were him, continue setting that boundary because I don't know. I feel like it could come back to him if anything, you know.
As we know, Gossip Girl is a lurker. She is a peeping Tom.
Yeah, peeping Tom. Yeah, literal peeping Tom. So
someone's gonna see something.
Yeah. No more Steven sessions. Yeah.
So like this episode, I agree with you. It was the most Gossip Girly of Gossip Girly. Max, Aki, Audrey drama. I'm here for it. And I need them to give Monet and Luna something more to do because now they're the threat at the end of this episode, right? They're like, now we're gonna take her down. So we're like teacher, stranger danger, and Luna Monet taking Zoya down. Yeah,
and I like that finally we were asking for Luna and Monet to get more screen time, and thank God they did. I like this whole like Luna being like a double agent. Don't really know why she's doing it, but I'm not against it. I like this actress. I want to see her in more scenes. And then all of a sudden we find out Monet's a lesbian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning. I totally forgot. That's right.
Okay.
I was like, sick. Awesome. More representation. Let's go.
Yeah. And I like that it was done so casually because there's so many right now that are like very much like, I'm this, I'm that. And like her very much just making out with this girl was more than enough. And her being like, I don't need your name. I was like,
yeah. I was into it. I was into
it. Yeah. I was here for that. For sure.
Yes.
Love
so
that.
What are you guys' thoughts? Like, did we miss anything on this episode? What are you hoping for next week?
I guess I'm definitely hoping for no more Teacher Max. Thank you.
Please and thank you.
We can focus him more on him and Aki and him and Audrey. Like, if we can get more of those scenes, because those scenes are great and they're people his age. That would be fantastic for me.
Yeah.
I would also like to see, I guess, personally, I would like to see more development between Zoya and Obie, because as cute as they are, like, I do find them cute and everything. I feel like I personally haven't gotten like that moment where I'm just like, oh, that was like yes, like I totally am into them. Like they have to be together, you know. I'm not like hardcore shipping them yet, so I kind of want to see like a moment where they're like, I'm like, yes, develop.
Yeah, I like that. Shawn, where are you at for next week or this week?
First and foremost, I think this is 100% the best episode so far. I actually really enjoyed this episode. I really loved seeing Max's backstory. I think Thomas Doherty is the MVP of the show at this moment in time. I want to see next week. I need Aki backstory, like now. Like it needs to happen. So I want family stuff. I need that to happen. I'd love more Aki and Max. And no more stranger danger. Like you said, I'm done with it. And Julian, I just need Julian to stop being wishy-washy. I need the showrunners to make up their mind on her and if she's going to be a villain or not.
And can we just make her more interesting? Because I find like the two leads are the most boring characters. Yeah. And this is where the drama was supposed to be coming from. And as we've talked about, that's not it. We're over here in Aki, Audrey, Max land.
100%.
So you cast these amazing leads, do something with them.
Absolutely.
So that's where I sit. Y'all, thank you so much for talking about this with me today.
Yes.
We will be back with people. Becky, if you want to come back next week, let a girl know.
I would love to.
I will hopefully maybe have like Kiki or Jordan from Smells Like Teen Angst join us, because they've got a lot of opinions as well as huge Gossip Girl stans. But yeah, so tell everyone where to follow you, because that's important. I've brought on other people that are on my channel, so I want to make sure everyone follows your amazing stuff. So Becky, we're going to start with you. Where do people find your channel and your things to follow?
You can find my channel at Film Freak Becky, just right here with my name, and that's also my Instagram handle. So nice and easy for you. I do mainly movie commentary, so that is me.
Yeah, and she's so great. Shawn, where do they find you?
Yeah, Becky is hilarious. She is one of the most entertaining people on the internet, so please follow her.
Thank you so much. What the heck?
She's so cute.
You're the sweetest. Oh my god. Follow Shawn too.
But yeah, follow me at Lost in the Reel, my YouTube channel. I do movie reviews. I do lots of hidden gems, so movies that you might not have heard about before, television shows you might not have heard about before either. That's also my Instagram handle and my Twitter. So it's Lost in the Reel, and hope to see you there.
Awesome. And we're Smells Like Teen Angst. You're on our channel, so hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell, and join us next time. Bye.